You've just received a message from the chair. She will be ringing you in the hour to interview you for the role of CEO. She is keen to hear your views on the corporate strategy and what you might do to exceed stakeholder expectations. No problem. You simply go to the corporate CSO sandbox to structure your thinking. While the existing strategy is strong, you have your own ideas on what changes you would make. Rather than talk in vague terms that she can't relate to, you resolve to take her through all the components of the CSO sandbox where you would make changes. It starts with an understanding of third wave strategy. As an introduction to the concept of third wave strategy, you are able to share this simple illustration contained in the CSO sandbox on screen. It helps too that the menu that will be on her screen reflects the 4 key elements that make up the third wave strategy framework. To clarify things further, you will be able to remind her that the framework consists of the elements of long-term strategy, short-term strategic planning, strategy implementation and strategic alignment, and that the center of strategy content is the strategic architecture. It contextualizes and describes the strategic imperatives that must be met if the organization is to realize its long-term ambitions. Its components are based on an outside-in or inside-out standpoint. The first of the inside-out perspective is the resource base. Honda is a good example of an organization that competes on this factor. Its entire strategy is based on the idea of leveraging its core competencies in engine design and manufacture to any number of markets. Complementary to resources is transforming activities. Toyota has excelled using its continuous improvement capabilities to ensure its resource base remains the best in the industry. Third is markets. Red Bull operates an outside-in perspective of strategy by associating its brand with elite athletes and teams in its race to build market share in the energy drink industry. Fourth is market differentiation. As one of the most successful restaurant chains in the fast food industry, McDonald's differentiates itself from other restaurants through its rapid delivery time and gratification of do-it-yourself customer service. When the chair calls, you will be able to zero in on the third wave strategy concepts that are relevant to your organization. Your and your colleagues' understanding of that content was acquired by following the unfolding story of the senior executives working in the Security, Printing and Packaging Division, SPPD, of the fictional company Third Wave Industries, TWI. The story depicted in the SPPD case study provided the groundwork for the subsequent application to your organisation. The chair was closely involved in that process, from which she took a key lesson. It arose early on in the exercise when SPPD Division Managing Director Jenny Wong thought more deeply about the first pass strategic architecture demonstrated here. Having committed to a program of heavy restructuring, Jenny and her team concluded that rather than turn the business around, that strategy would most likely entrap the business in a state of inertia, while contributing little to its competitive advantage or indeed its renewal. In response, the leadership team decided a more aggressive approach to organisational transformation and renewal was required. The phone is ringing and you are calm and confident. In your discussion with the chair, you propose a somewhat radical program of change, one that would see the existing business transform from a manufacturer of widgets into a participant in a systems-based service solution provider. As demonstrated in the SPPD case study presented in the CSO sandbox, the strategic architecture is key. Consistent with the ideas introduced by the SPPD leadership team, you propose the following actions to the chair. First, evolve the static market positions into dynamic market systems. Second, evolve the resource base into a core competence platform while ultimately aligning each into a full service solution in the form of an integrated value system. An example of this in the real world is Mars Incorporated, a company that evolved its pet food division into an animal health service provider. The returns you expect certainly impress the chair. As an indication, you suggest sales should double within 10 years, while financial performance should improve in the first 2 years. The chair was ecstatic. That is exactly what she's looking for. You are immediately shortlisted for the role of CEO.